Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, less known classic. This is episode number 2634 and Doubleshot 24, 25, 28. I got two Aquaman trades. This first one collects issues from Volume 6, which at the time this was released, it had been a couple years since Volume 5 ended. Though this also springs out of a story arc from JLA by Kurt Busiek. Does Kurt Busiek write this one? Nope. It's Rick Bach. Though this one starts something that is well known for this run. The previous volume was infamous for the hook hand. The hook for Aquaman having a hook. Here it's Aquaman. Well, let's show it off here. It's Aquaman Waterbearer. He's almost like, why is his hand clear? Like, did he get his hand back? Okay. So, what he does is he throws away the hook, and then these people give him this brand new hand, this aquatic hand, based on their power, and this is his hand he has for the entire run. Yep. By the way, this trade here collects the first 6 issues of Volume 6, which was 39 issues, so the number was continued as sort of Atlantis, for about 17 issues before the series was canceled, probably due to the low sales. So, yeah, Aquaman is basically on the run. He doesn't have long hair anymore. He's very scruffy now. Mira is not really much in these issues per se. Yeah, it's because of the Obsidian Aid, he's basically branded a traitor. Though he starts out with, you see in a flashback, he's wearing his outfit you see him wear from the JLA book. And then, the flashback with him having the hook hand. And of course, Banco, he gets banished. Of course, he has the hook hand. And then he just, after he flees, he takes it off and throws it away. Yeah, so, by the way, Peter David did that to him. So, then these women just basically give him this brand new hand. Oh, yeah, and the Justice League are here too. So, he's given this special bracelet, gives him a hand. Yeah, brand new hand. It acts like a proper hand for him. And it's like this the whole run. Yeah, like I mentioned, Rick Bach does the writing here. But the artwork is done by these people. Josh Hood, Derek Smith, Norm Barfagel. You're thinking, wait, the Batman artist? Yep. Along with Yo Gotcha, and the original cover is done by Alex Maleev, Yo Gotcha, and Mark Profits. Interesting. So basically, yeah, he's trying to struggle, basically deal with it. A lot of this issue is basically just setting up for this run. So, by the way, this run is notorious for having basically more than one or two rares. This book had 5 or 6 different rares. At one point, John Ostrander wrote this book. Yes, John Ostrander. As in, the guy who created the popular version of the Suicide Squad. We have Patrick Gleason in the artwork too later on. So yeah, battling people. Now, aside from having Martian Manhunter and of course Aquaman made the book, obviously, is there any outside? Is there any do we have appearance here by? Now you might be thinking, okay, so does Aquaman By the way, he just wears pants. This is his new look. He has that for a little while before he goes back to his regular shirt he wears. Garth is here. Yes, Garth is here. But here's a good question. Is Black Manta here in these issues? Nope. Is Ocean Master? No, not really. Dolphin's here. Some of you might be thinking, who's Dolphin? Garth's wife and the mother of his child, who died prior to Blackest Night. Yes, seriously. Because somebody at DC Comics didn't like the fact that Garth, aka Tempest, had a freaking child. So he killed him off screen. Yeah, so it's really interesting, these set of issues. I like this guy, Henrik Falk. He made the book quite interesting. And I'm going to give the book roughly a 9 out of 10. It's just really good here. Yeah. I'm going to give the book roughly a 9 out of 10. that's most where I get this book. All right, next up, we move on to another Aquaman book. We have Aquaman Tempest. Yeah, everything here focused on Garth. Surprisingly, does not collect this feature from Adventure Comics this trade. I would have thought they would. You would think that would be a great idea, given the fact it's all Aqualad stuff, like solo-wise. But nope. No, he doesn't have that here. Nope. By the way, the writer of this book is basically Phil Menace, who writes and draws the main miniseries, which is 4 issues. You also have Gary Cohn, Dan Miskin, and John Oswinder on the artwork, on the writing. Artwork, Eric Larson, Art Turbot, and Scott Nolans. And of course, this cover art here is done by Phil Menace. So this book collects the entire 4-issue miniseries of Tempest, written drama by Phil Menace, obviously. Showcase Night Shadows 96 number 1, along with Teen Titans Spotlight number 10 and 18. Yeah, the first one's done by John Osman, the second one's done by Dan Michigan. Phil Menace does a showcase issue, which is basically a backdoor pilot to this book. So, most of the way, basically Garth training with, I don't think it's Aquaman. He trained with somebody, and doesn't like to call Aquaman anymore. So he's like, okay, gotta put something new. So then in the very first issue of the book, which I love this cover over here. And here's something though. Tempest miniseries collected in trade. Of course, Nightwing's book is all pretty much mostly in trade. The only now of the founding members of the Teen Titans, of course he's one of them. He had one miniseries, one, in his whole history. You would think as interesting as this book was, they make it ongoing. Nope, they never did. Just kept miniseries. So he works with this. Then he runs into a mermaid, who is a very beautiful one. It basically covers up her chest with her some lines. Yep, and it's basically him counting mer people. And then we get a very shocking moment here in this opening issue, where Tallulah is back. Now, here's the strange thing about her. She's been dead since the mid-'80s. She's been dead at this point for 11 years. Yeah, and she's cold. Yeah, and Garth basically reunited with her, so... Oh, by the way, he basically decides to... In the very next issue, he takes up a brand new code name. It's also the debut of his new costume. So, and apparently it opens up basically waking up from a dream, and apparently it's implied off screen that Tallulah and Garth had sex. Because of course they did. So, Aqualad, by the way, Tempest basically he wears his outfit, is black attire, and then eventually he gets his brand new attire, and this is the first time he's ever called Tempest. This big historical note. This second issue is when he called Tempest. And he has this costume up until his death in Blackest Night number 1. So he has this outfit for about 12 years. Yep. And you might be asking, does he have this outfit in the current continuity? I believe he does. There's no mention of him being Aqualad, so just being Tempest. So, well, it's a good adventure for him. I do appreciate it. And they do, in fact, reveal what the whole thing is with Tallulah. He said she disappeared. In actuality, she got killed by shell demons. So, we see, various people here. Also, he runs to his mother. Yes, his mother. And at one point, you see Garth taking out a freaking gun. Yes, a gun. But cybernetics evolve. And then, finally, by the final issue, Tallulah is actually just some reborn zombie. Yeah, and then by the end of the book, I believe she returns being dead. Yeah, apparently she's basically a zombie who was brought back to life somehow. And then apparently Garth had no choice but to basically destroy her. Yep, he destroys her body, and then he's angry. Now here's the thing. He goes off, and he basically just mourns her death once again. Yes, he kills Tallulah, but he has no choice in the matter. It was more of I wouldn't call it cold-blooded murder, because she was already dead. It's more like a mercy killing. He had no choice but to do it. So, then we have the 2 Aqualad issues from Teen Titans Spotlight. By the way, this one's done by Eric Larson. It is mostly put one of 2 solo stories that he had, because for some reason, DC did not want to push his character for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I still think it was a mistake for DC not to include his solo features, brief solo feature he had from Adventure Comics, which was a handful of issues in the 400s. I would have thought they would put it in here, but they didn't. Not sure. I still do not understand the reason for it. So, this first story, it is mostly about him basically about his past in this Teen Titans Spotlight issue, which I thought this book was really good. And then the second issue in here, it's part of the Millennium stuff. And it turns out the whole first issue here is all just Steve, basically Mento, basically just messing with his mind. So it's basically, in the case of this Millennium issue, Teen Titans Spotlight number 18, this is mostly put what Garth was up to during the events of a Millennium. That is mostly put exactly what this book is. And plus, Aquaman didn't have an ongoing series in the 80s. So, yeah. But Manhunters, still pretty good stuff here. I'm going to give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. And I'll keep saying this. DC, you should have collected his feature from Adventure Comics. What it made sense to do, it is a brief solo feature. It's only like 3 issues. You could include it in here, but you didn't. I mean, I'm happy we got this trade. Now, if you're curious, when did this trade come out, you might ask? This came out just a few years ago, basically in 2018. It's basically, oh my gosh, like 6 years ago. That's how long this trade came out. But now, oddly enough, like not long after this, Beast Boy would have miniseries at the same period of time, along with Arsenal. He had one too, written by Devin Grayson, which I have reviewed on an audio-only review previously. It was a really good miniseries. So shockingly, it is not in trade. And yet his second miniseries, Rise of Arsenal, is in trade, but at the first one, I don't get it at all. It was a really good miniseries. Now, you might be thinking, is Garth still around in DC Comics today? Yes, he is, except that he does not wear the red outfit anymore. His outfit is blue. Yes, it's more of a blue blackish costume with like armor similar to Aquaman. That's basically how he's drawn in the current continuity. And here's the strange thing though. He made his first appearance post Flashpoint in Titans Hunt. I think it was. No, it wasn't Aquaman. I think it was during Cullen Bunn's runs when he first showed up, and then he appeared in Titans Hunt, and then he appeared prominently in the book Titans. And then once basically they decided to change direction of that book, which proved to be very unpopular for the book, which caused its cancellation, he later basically returned to be a supporting character in the pages of Aquaman, and then the book ended. Now currently he's back with the Titans. Yes, seriously, he's still Tempest. Yeah, that's still his code name. This stuff is not wearing his costume. Well, his pre-Flashpoint costume, which I like this costume. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't wear this one anymore. It's a good costume. It's got a good color scheme. I don't know why. It's like DC does not want to embrace some stuff for free Flashpoint sometimes very much. That's why like Dark Rise made everything canon now. It did. But I kind of wish, basically, you put Tempest back in this costume. Because I think it's more looks not better than him than the blue one. That's my honest opinion, anyways. And give him some stuff. Though for some reason, they had it where in the Titans book, where he was dating Omen. Despite the fact he never really dated a brief Flashpoint. We did have his wife pop up in Aquaman during Dan Abnett's run. Dolphin. She didn't speak for some reason. And you might be thinking in the book, now here's the strange thing though. When she originally showed up, now she was one of the forgotten heroes. When she first met Aquaman, she was kind of his lover. And then when Mary came back, their relationship ended. And then she basically hooked up with Garth as basically sort of a rebound, like a new guy, Garth. And they got married and they had a kid together. Though they both died prior to Blackest Night. Somehow was explained in the page of the Titans this happened. I do think Garth is a good character. I kind of wish to do something more with him. Like, make Tempest an ongoing series. Like, bring back Phil Jimenez. This book was good. Do a follow-up to this one. Yeah, it's been like, oh my gosh, like, how long has it been since the series wrapped up? I mean, the series came out in 97. I wasn't reading at that point, but I have read it before. I mean, it's been like 27 years since basically the series came out. So, could I think we do another book for him? Yes. I definitely think he should get another one. Like, do something with him. Like, I don't know, have a hook up with Dolphin. Do that, DC. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for particular review. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Next up, Nerd Comic Corner. Okay, next video. Bye.